what we have here is a platform that will share with you a piece of information that no other platform has. And in a nutshell, what we do show is where the real bull and real bear positions in the market are. The way we derive these is we look at options information from the options data feeds, and we extract through an algorithm trades that only belong to market makers. And from that, when market makers are engaged in a trade with a trader like yourself, because you bought and there was no seller and they were the seller, they're the ones that are going to buy some kind of hedge against their short, because you're buying in a bull market and no one else is selling. They got to long something too, or else they're upside down. So they're going to be the ones buying calls or buying puts to hedge their position against you. And so while we find their positions, because we know how to do that, we can extract where your positions are, you being institutions, funds, firms, whatever. And from there, we give you real bull and bear side of the market. We also give you market maker hedging and 14 total indicators that are all exploits very similar to that. They're going to show you something that's not technical analysis, not fundamental analysis. We call it positional risk analysis, because what it's showing you is the automated side of the market that you didn't know. All 14 of our indicators predict where volume will be at a price. The limitations of technical analysis, such as averages, shapes such as Elliott waves and harmonics, really are just shape patterns. All of those things use the past price to try to predict what the future price will be. When we started, we were a team of engineers. I'm an engineer by degree. My team and I thought that sounded extremely silly. How can the past predict the future? There's not humans doing any of this trading. It's like 99% mechanical. It's robots. They're not repeating their behaviors based on the shape of the previous week. Your yellow sloped average and blue sloped average crossing over is not going to entice a trader at Goldman Sachs to come and drop billions of dollars in the stock market. And your delayed indicator is going to come way after the fact anyway. So we decided that it's better trying to isolate mechanically where the most activity will be in a trading day based on repeatable mechanical things. So in Rocket Scooter, every time a market maker buys a call, because they want to zero the risk, it's because they're shorting against you as a buyer. So those things are repeatable every single time, and they're real time, and there's no delay. And so when you look at our indicators, it's not trying to predict where price is going to land. What it's going to do is it's going to predict where volume will be at a specific price. And to a trader, that's extremely valuable. There's nothing more valuable than that, because if I'm going to long the market at what price based on technicals, well, any price will do. Well, here's a previous support or resistance in the past. Okay, that might have some weight to it. Previous lows, previous highs. Sure, but what about in between, right? In the day-to-day, how do you know where other traders are going to be? If I'm going to long the market, I need to buy when other buyers come in after me, right? I want to know that other buyers are there, and I want to be as first in line as I can be, or else my trade's going nowhere. Other traders, if I'm looking at volume, there's other traders and there's other traders. I'm looking for volume at a price, not picking a price at a time. That is the failure of technical analysis. Okay, not saying that it's terrible, it's just terrible on its own. It has a complete failure point, and that it so boldly tries to predict the stock market based on such rudimentary things as an average. Okay, if I can tell you at the start of the day that at this blue line and this white line and this edge there will be high volume, now you know, no matter what you are, whether you're bull or bear, the only 3 points that'll matter to you would be those points. So who cares what the technicals say? Everything else is arbitrary and non-actionable. So including everything in between. So it helps me not buy too early. It helps me not long at the wrong spot. It helps me make my bull decision or my bear decision from the same place. So bulls would long there and bears would short there, but at least you know you have the power of predicting volume at each one of those levels when you interact with our levels, there's volume. As you start selling from the level, the white one, there's volume. As you hit the edge of the bull zone, there is volume. You see that right here? So what you used to think was just random stuff here and here, we're showing you that it's predictable. It's very predictable, as a matter of fact. And we will show you where volume will be every day. So as a trader, I can either short from there, or buy from there, or long from there, or sell from there, but my decision is made where other traders will be, and we give you these numbers the moment the market opens. So imagine that you pay all that money a month for some kind of unusual activity program. There's tons of them out there. They all clone each other. They are no different from each other, so don't shop around. They take options data, put it through a filter, and then they spit out, this is high volume or high activity or unusual activity compared to what you normally see. That sounds cool. As a matter of fact, it's great. They're going to give you the unusual activity right here, likely, at this spot, at that point in time. They're going to give you the unusual activity here, because that's very unusual volume, at that spot, at that point in time. However, we will give you all of these when the market opens. So you're getting ahead of all your people and friends in those trade groups who are just waiting for that indicator and those platforms to go ding, 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 ding. And they're like, ooh, unusual. Well, what is it? Is it buy? Is it sell? Let's analyze. I was like 15 minutes ahead. I knew that if you touch that level, there would be unusual activity. Each of our 14 indicators all do the same thing.